welcome. If you are an OG, it's nice to see you, fam. I hope you're doing well. Stay safe, my dude. I hope everything is going good for you. Peace and love to all of y'all. So today, as you can see, I'm in my car. My kiddo is in the back. We are on our way to go get a hearing and audiology test done on my son. First of all, I look a hot ass mess, and it's because I'm not going to work. The daycare cutoff time will not allow me to take him back to daycare and then go to work. We will probably be way late, so I'm just going to this doctor's appointment looking like Supermom right now. Looking a mess, but so pretty much I'm taking my son to get an audiology and speech pathology assessments done this morning. My son will be 2 in December. Those of you who know me personally or who follow my channel or follow me on Instagram, you know that I have 2 kids and one of them is about to be 2 next month. Y'all also know that he babbles all day long. He talks. But when I took him to get his shots, I want to say a month ago maybe, they do like that questionnaire thing, and just to check on like the progress of your kid and how they're doing and how they're developing and blah blah blah, which is great. But after doing the questionnaire, the pediatrician pretty much was like, he seems to be advanced in everything and far behind in his language. So I was like, yeah, I don't know, like he says a lot of things. He's doing more than what he was doing at first since we put him back in daycare, but it's not like he's, you know, rattling off dissertations or anything like that. So she referred us to get speech and audiology testing done to see if there is in fact a speech delay or impairment. And those of you who don't know, some children, there's a large percentage of children apparently that if they have a speech delay, more than likely they also have like a hearing problem. They can have a hearing problem or a speech impediment, and it's like kind of linked together. So that's why they're doing both tests instead of just one. So I'm on my way to take my son to this appointment, and you know, we'll see how it goes. Pretty much like he says things, like I'm not gonna sit here and act like he don't talk. He does. He says hi, he says bye. He's just started saying no last week. He says cheese, he says mommy, daddy, he says oh shit, he says oh no, he says, I really feel like that might be it for real. And he just started humming, which is good because at first he was not humming things at all. And so the other reason why there was even, what the hell are y'all doing? The only other reason why there was some hesitancy and concern with my son not really talking like that is because my husband's family, his first cousin, so my husband's father has a sister who has 2 children. Those 2 children are my husband's first cousins. Well, she has more than 2 children, but we're going to talk about these specifically too. So these 2 women have 2 kids. They have kids, right? So one of the women that is my husband's cousin, she has a little boy who is 8 years old who does not talk. Well, he does talk now, but it took him a very, very long time to talk because he is autistic, okay? That I understand autism. I get it. The other one, though, this child does not seem to have any kind of spectrum disorder. They're not on the spectrum. They don't have Asperger's. They don't have autism. Nothing. Like, it just seems like the kid just don't talk, okay? He is gonna be, no, he is 3. He's 3 and he don't say nothing. Like, to talk to him means to hear him do all day long. He don't say words. And I don't know why. Don't nobody know why, I don't think. So, because there is a history of children in my husband's family that don't speak, I was like freaking out because, baby, my son needs to be able to talk, right? So that was a problem for me, and I didn't understand it. And I know that it can be like a link. So to alleviate any of the problems or questions that we had, we wanted to make sure that our son went to go get checked. So that's why we're on our way. That's why me and my husband are on our way to go get him looked at. I'm gonna try to vlog some of it. I know some of it I'm not gonna be able to vlog because of like HIPAA, and like I can't put like the medical personnel on camera, so it'll be a little butched, but I'm gonna try to like let y'all in on what it looks like to get your child tested for auditory and speech pathology. Get speech pathology and auditory testing. That's what today is the day, y'all. I'm starving too. So, but yeah, stay tuned. I will explain to y'all some more things later on once we get there. But it's traffic and folks is driving like they ain't got no goddamn sense. So I'm about to get off this camera because I'm not trying to wreck my car. Cool beans. I will see y'all in a few.
Good job with Lawson. All right, let's see. I'm going to drop this off. You sit here with Mama, okay? You're going to come in here. Good. Shine. Hey, Shine. Look, where's the horse? There it is. Good job. He says, nay. Nay. Oh, you making him run? Nay, horsey. Does he like to play pretend with toys and stuff? Okay. Where's that horsey going? Is he getting my paper? Yeah, horsey. He says, nay. Hi, with you guys. I know you said you guys had tried the signs and he's not really taken to them, and I saw him.
We watched, my mom ordered us baby sign time.
Yeah,
and I tried to get him interested in it like when he was really young, like 6 months old. I was trying to get him to watch a couple of little episodes of it because they're really short.
Right, yeah.
He didn't want to watch anything.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to do after that.
Yeah, so what we typically encourage parents to do is, did you see how I was like taking his hands and helping him do it? So what I would do is I would put things that you know he's going to want out of his reach.
Okay.
So that he has to ask you for help with it. And when he comes up to you and he's pointing to it, like he was doing today, where he was like pointing to the table, then you help him do a sign. So you help him do the sign for please, you help him do the sign for more.
Okay.
And then you give it to him. So he understands, oh, I do this thing and then mom gives this to me. So then the idea is eventually they're like, I'm tired of waiting for you to do this for me, Mom, so I'm just going to do it myself. And then it kind of comes. And always with the signs, say the word while you're doing it. So saying more while you're doing the sign for more or all done, so that he's kind of putting those together too. Those signs often work as like a stepping stone for kids who are able to point and kind of vocalize like he is, but aren't yet using words to tell you what it is they want. It gives them a way to do that more specifically and intentionally. So I gave you a little piece of paper that kind of explains why we use signs, and it gives you pictures of all of the different ones that you can work on with them too. So let's try that. And then I also gave you guys some pictures of some common objects in here for him to practice like pointing to things that you tell him to. Okay. So you can cut these out and hold up two of them and tell him like, where's the hat? And have him point to the right one. Okay. Another thing that I noticed he was having trouble with during while we were just playing together was following some directions without gestural cues. So I noticed he did a great job. If I was like, make him go down the slide or make him get into bed, he did it immediately. But if I just said, like, make him go down the slide, he just kind of kept playing and didn't really understand what to do. And so trying to get him to follow some one-step or two-step directions without any gestures.
And I ask, like, there's times where I'll be like, the other day, I asked him to give me the plate off the floor, and he brought it to me.
He did it immediately, yeah, and he definitely, I think there's probably, like when I said give it to me, he gave it to me immediately. So I think there's some directions that are just so routine for him that you guys probably give him a lot at home. That he's learned those, but it's the newer directions, like put the boy in the bed, make him go down the slide, things like that, that he's probably not doing every day, that are going to be a little bit more difficult for him. And I gave you guys this little sheet too that has just some different ideas of some like fun directions that you can work on. It's like motor movements, like raise your hand, turn around, things like that. And now at first he's probably going to need you to model a lot of these for him, like you're having to do with the jumping, like show him like turn around, and then have him imitate you, and then see if he can do it on his own too. So I'll give you guys all of that to work on at home. There's sheets that talk about all of that in here. And I'm also going to give you, these are just developmental milestones. We don't have one for his specific months, but we have one for 18 months and 2 years since he's in between those two. And these just give you like what a child should be doing at each of those ages. And on the back, it gives you some ideas for like how to stimulate some of that language if you're not seeing it. So I'll give you both of these just so you can have them to kind of see like what things is he doing really well with and what things do we really want to focus on next. So I'll give y'all all of that, and I'm also going to make you a copy of this that has all of those recommendations that we just talked about, so you'll have this to take home with you today. Perfect. Do you have any questions for me right now that you can think of?
What is it that you said you're diagnosing him with? It's a...
Sorry, one more time.
What is it that you said you were diagnosing him with?
A receptive and expressive language delay, and that's written right here too.
Is there, when you said like the, what are they called? The benchmarks, like the number benchmarks, is there a thing in there that explains that?
So I wrote right here that the average range is 85 to 115, and I wrote his scores too. Is that what you're looking
that's
for?
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
So the average range would be 85 to 115, and he got an 80 and a 76. So it just kind of shows you he's below for both, but receptive is definitely higher than expressive. So he's understanding a lot more than he's able to communicate with us right now. So, which is a really good sign. That's typical that kids have a higher receptive score than a low than expressive. Yes. Any other questions about that? Okay. No. Well, if you have any questions after today, this is my phone number at the top. It's my direct number. So feel free to call me if you guys get home and you're looking through this and have questions about any of it. I can help in any way that I can. So
perfect. Is there anything? Well, I feel like they're probably working on these things at daycare, but is there anything that he needs to be working on at daycare that I can tell his teachers, like, hey, try to see if there's a way that we can try to squeeze this in during the day?
So I think, so at daycare, he's probably getting a lot of that language stimulation just naturally. What I would say would be a good thing is as he gets better at those signs, trying to get them to require those too. So he understands this isn't just something I do for mom, like I can do this for everybody. And you can even show them the signs to try and like see like, okay, this is how he's gonna ask you for more, this is how he's gonna say all done, so that if he walks up to them at daycare and does more, they're not
they
like,
know what he wants.
So it kind of reinforces, oh, I can use that to communicate. Perfect. You know? So yeah, that would be the one thing that I would say would be really helpful for him to have in both of those, is just doing those signs consistently. So yeah, that's a great question though. Any other questions? Okay. Let me get you a paper clip for all of this. Let's see. you think? Yeah, that's my desk. Isn't that silly? It's in a cabinet.
Here, come on. Shy. Oh, no. Come on. Let's go. Come on. You did good, buddy. Move on. Well, y'all, so my kiddo has been diagnosed with receptive, I don't remember what it's called. He in fact does have a speech delay. He pretty much, so the benchmarks for not having a speech delay, the numbers of the questionnaire are 85 to 115. On receptive, I believe he had an 80, and then the expressive, he had a 78. So he is lower on the benchmarks. I hope you can't even see me. The benchmarks, he has lower benchmarks than what he needs, but she did say that he is receptive and understands more than he can communicate. And one of the things that she is admonishing us to do is to teach him sign, so that he is able to communicate more. She says that children who are able to sign are a little bit easier and quicker to learn more words, because they realize how necessary it is, as opposed to just pointing or bringing me whatever he wants. It'll force him to actually use his skills. So yeah, I look crazy. Y'all will never ever see me looking like this ever again, because this is crazy. I look like I'm on crack or something. I look cracked out. But so they are allowing me to put him on a waiting list for in-person speech therapy. And the waiting list is not long, but it's a long ass packet I gotta fill out, so I'm gonna do that when I get home and then send it back to them. Also, we are utilizing services from Early Intervention. The company is called 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗧, and they provide services for behavioral and speech therapy. So they do both therapies because there is a link between being nonverbal and behavior. One thing that I learned in school is that kids who are unable to communicate using their words are more likely to have temper tantrums. So if you have, your kid is in the terrible two stage, and they're having temper tantrums, but they're not speaking, it's not because they're bad. Don't call them bad. Don't say that they're a badass. That's not what it is. Developmentally, that's what a 2-year-old is supposed to do. They're supposed to throw temper tantrums. They're supposed to express their anger and their emotions. However, the lack of ability to verbalize their expressions and emotions is what creates the temper tantrum. Does that make sense? And I want to say that, and I want to make sure y'all understand it, because a lot of people, especially black people, will sit there and say, oh, my kid is bad, and they're not bad. They're doing what developmentally is appropriate for their age. That is how they communicate, okay? They're not bad. Stop saying that shit. I hate when people say that their kids are bad. No. They're either going through developmental stages appropriately, or they are dealing with something that is causing them to act out. They are not bad kids. Kids can't be bad, okay? I don't know. I hate when people do that. So, and if you notice, I never call my son bad. And y'all see this nigga has temper tantrums 24/7. I'd say he is a hot ass mess. He is wild. He is adventurous. He is like, I use different terminology, but I don't call my son bad, and I don't allow other people to call my son bad. Don't speak that onto my son's life, okay? When you say that a child is bad because they're doing something that developmentally they're supposed to do, you're creating a complex for them as they get older. So we need to start watching our words and watching the things that we speak onto our kids, because we should know better. We are adults. Just because your mama called you bad because you rolled your eyes and sucked your teeth does not mean that you say that your child is bad just because your mama said it and you turned out fine, okay? So I'm over my I'm off my soapbox about calling our kids bad. But anyway, so we're utilizing a service called early intervention, also, which we've been using for 2 weeks. Early intervention is a program that teaches the parent how to teach the child. This will be my second week using it. I'm not really sure how I feel about it yet, so I'll give like an honest review on early interventions another time when I have a little bit more experience with it. But as of right now, we are working with a behavior specialist that is working with me to teach him how to change his behavior, although he cannot speak as efficiently as we would like. I'm gonna stop saying that my son doesn't talk, because my son does talk. It's just he don't talk as much as he needs to using his big boy words. That's what it is. And then also early intervention allows you to utilize a speech therapist. So right now all of our sessions are virtual, and along with them being virtual, we only have sessions once every 2 weeks. So I meet with the behavior specialist once every 2 weeks, and I meet with the I'm tired. And I meet with the speech therapist once every 2 weeks. And this Thursday will be my first time meeting with the speech therapist. So they teach you the parent skills to work with your child better. Okay, so I'll do a video on what early interventions is like. I'll even record some of our sessions so that y'all can see. That's pretty much the outcome of our session. I mean, our testing. I just want to encourage other moms that, like, if your child is not speaking as much as they should be, like developmentally, at the age of 2, they usually are able to put together words like oh no, you know, like 2 words, mommy stop, or that's mine, like stuff like that. They're able to put together 2 words. My son says oh shit and oh no. I don't count oh shit because he's not supposed to be saying that no way. And I know why he says it. It's because I have a potty mouth, and so I'm actually working on not cursing around him as much. And my husband needs to stop cursing on the game, because my husband be making up curse words, you know, telling people to suck his ass and hold my nuggets and like hold my ass, suck my dick, all that stuff. And my son be in the room with him while he's playing the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day he hauled off and hollered about some suck my ass in daycare, and I'm gonna get a phone call. I'm not trying to have them problems. So we definitely are working towards monitoring our language around the kiddos. If you're a parent and your child is not utilizing language as much as they should be, or as much as you would like for them to, it is okay. There are so many resources out there for you to use. Right now, my mom is a teacher. Well, she's been a teacher, but my mom sent me a bunch of these little cards, and I'll take I hate this. I'll take pictures of the cards so that you can see what they look like, but we go over the cards twice a day. They're just little word cards with pictures on them. And then we also read him 2 books every night before he goes to sleep. That's part of his bedtime routine. And I just encourage you to continue to do things that are going to promote the use of language. If you have a bilingual child, or if you are hoping to have a child that is bilingual, it is okay. Just know that them picking up on English can be a little bit more difficult, because they are now trying to code switch in their head and understand like when they have to use one language and when they use the other. I don't have corona, y'all. Sorry. But yeah, and I encourage people, if you do know another language, you teach your child. Don't use that as an excuse to not teach them because it's going to take them longer to learn English. It's fine. And that is something that I asked the speech therapist yesterday, because I do speak to my son in both English and Creole. And I did not want what I was doing to hinder his ability to pick up on words and develop his language skills in English. So, yes. Hopefully you like this vlog. I am home now, and we are going to get, he's falling asleep, so I'm gonna get him out the car and get him in the bed so he can nap, and then I am going to pull out my laptop and do some work for work. But until next time, stay strong, mommies. It's gonna be all right. Your baby's not gonna go to kindergarten not knowing how to talk. I promise. They're gonna be good. Utilize the resources that are available to you, and don't let nobody shame you for the way that you are trying to help your child grow and develop. Okay? Love y'all.